Oh, is David joining us?
I think he might be able to.
That'd be cool.
I'm not sure if he's here. We'll see. What are you about to show?
I was gonna show the.
Okay, maybe not. Let's watch it.
Watch it.
We can bring David on soon.
All right, cool. So you want to set this up, Mike?
Yeah. So what we're about to watch is we're about to watch a demo here of the browser, and we'll probably some of the boring part we'll fast forward here because it's literally what he's trying to show is.
Sorry, real quick. We set up. We have a browser. Like, will you give me the super high level?
Okay, got it. Okay, so in order to use a Think agent, you need to have some sort of interface.
There needs to be an agent browser.
And so a browser is a great way to do that because a browser is kind of like having a portal to like all the apps that are on the other side.
Yeah.
Right, like a browser is how you don't just look at one website in there, you can look at all of them. The browser ends up being the way that the agent can interact with you and with everything you're looking at. And so we want to have a browser that's actually local and private, so it's not hitting OpenAI servers. And so what that means is you have to take all of that infrastructure that people are normally running with a bunch of DevOps engineers on massive infrastructure. We need to package that and make it so that you can click and it's going to install. And now you have
because that's create a server and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, most consumer software doesn't need to do all of this. And so if you hit play here, I'll be talking about.
But this is what allows you to run locally and privately. So all the data.
So now Think's loading up, and he's just got the one step there, and now he's opening it, and now he's in the browser. He's showing, okay, here's the agents. He's got a planner, a navigator, and a validator that he's got set up here in this instance. He goes and pulls over from the right side, and he can go say hi to his agent, and this is operating off his own GPU there, I believe, or maybe, I think it's off his own GPU. And now he's about to show you, so this over here on the right actually can read everything that's on the website on the left. And so now he's coming over and he's saying like, hey, I would love for you to go to a website and I want a laptop. Will you go look at this for me? Hits enter. It goes behind the scenes, calls the agent that's running locally on his machine.
Yeah.
Right, calls the AI, pulls up the website now, reads it, pulls it in, and now can go.
And also, we're building our browser on top of Chromium, but we're pulling out all the advertising shit.
Exactly.
So everything he's doing, even as he's shopping for laptops, is all private as well.
It's all private, and he can pull in things like his MetaMask, or if there's a payment option that you want to give it, where like I would recommend not giving it your full credit card, but if you want to give it $100 to go buy something for you, you actually can do that.
Dude, just put it in its wallet.
Yeah.
And so this is a browser where, again, we've talked about this before, if you want your agents or you want your AI to be performant, it has to see everything you look at the internet, it has to see everything on your computer. Now all this is happening and the data never leaves your device.
Yep.
So we, as the people that are literally open sourcing this, have no idea what's happening with it.
Yeah,
it's none of our fucking business.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nobody can. It's all for you on your device. And all the stuff that would make this hard, because a lot of people like us just putting out the browser is not the hard part. It's all the shit you just saw, where it has to add a server, it has to add in all of this infrastructure.
Yeah.
So even like you said, well, it's actually doing its inference locally.
Yeah.
Well, all that stuff has to be set up, and we just know that if we said, cool, go down the browser, go download the browser, now go download this, now it just would be too hard.
Yeah.
So we had to build this in a way that you could literally one click create an entire locally run browser built for your agent.
Yep.
Where you maintain complete privacy and data autonomy.
Yep.
And it's working.
And that's what's right here. Yep. It's happening.
This is the coolest thing about this, because there's the stuff we're building, like the browser, and then there's the stuff that like Johnny and Sway are doing, and then there's the stuff Alex and No Predators built. Like, what's cool is every week the tree just gets bigger and bigger. And so when we're doing podcasts like this, every week we're going to start having at least one guest a week just to show what they're building.
Let's have David on next week.
Sure.
Let's have David be our guest next week. We might have to do it a half hour later.
Yeah, we'll have David on. Frankenminer wants to come on and show us the agent that he just got him a partnership.
Heck yeah.
At the distillery. Alex said he would come on his demo, his agent that replaces civil engineers.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. What's crazy is we're starting to get these guests lined up, and they're not random guests. They're all building in the Think ecosystem and all being incredibly successful.
Yeah, for sure. David, what's up, man? He's here.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, David. Oh, well, instead of next week, David, let's have you on the podcast right now.
So we just showed the folks your demo. Do you want to talk about the current state of the Think browser?
Yeah, so it's been pretty exciting. Getting everything coming together. I've just released to you guys to look at a one-click executable, which installs and configures it ready to be used by users. The thing is, we want to make this technology as accessible as possible, and get it into the hands of everybody. So, command line interfaces and having to be an engineer to use it is not really acceptable. So we need to get it kind of accessible to anybody who's wanting to play around with it. We have a bunch of features. Sorry?
This is the power that only engineers could ever have had before, right? Because you see these AI things, you're like, how are people doing it? And by making the browser easy to install, now you're bringing that level of agents to every person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's right. It's not even just, you didn't even just need to be an engineer. I mean, I've been in this business a while now, and you need teams of engineers and millions of dollars in investment to do something that people can pick up and do these days with AI. And making that more accessible is we're going to start to see some really amazing things from the community come out of it.
It's so awesome. David, we take a minute and just talk about what an orchestrator is with agents and why it matters.
So an orchestrator, its job is to understand what tools and what agents it has available to it in order to complete tasks, and then go ahead and coordinate those tools and those agents to carry out individual components of that task to work towards a goal. Then validate. Often you can have a separate validator, or the orchestrator can do the validation itself, but validate the output of those agents and make sure that the goal is met for the user. So
if
really,
you've never worked at a company before, or if you've ever worked at a company or you've remodeled your house or something like that, you might have a project manager, like a general contractor. That's the person who kind of an expert at who's the labor I have available, like what's the best practices here, and you're actually building that into the system so that and is it true that it learns as it goes, like as new tools get developed, you don't have to teach it?
yeah, exactly. So the really important thing when designing agentic systems is right context, right time, and understanding the current environment that it's in and what its capabilities are in order to make good just-in-time decisions around how to reach the goal that it's been given. So having a system that constantly evolves and learns as its environment changes and as the variables change. Simple things as understanding what you did last week regarding this subject is really important, so that it can continue that conversation going forward. So that learning component is really important for the orchestrator to understand the right context at the right time to complete the goal that it's achieving.
So awesome.
Dude, I can't wait. So like David, when in your mind, where's this browser at in 6 months? Like, what's the kind of stuff that people will be able to do? Like, what does this make possible?
So, I mean, the thing that excites me the most is getting it into the hands of community, because I don't want to be, right now, I don't want to be in a position where I can actually answer that question for you, because
Yeah.
that means that I've failed at my job. I haven't built a system that that is going to surprise me. I haven't built a system that people can emergent functionality can be driven from, that I can't even imagine. That's what I want to see in 6 months. I want to see
Love that.
a bunch of stuff that I can't even imagine right now being written with it.
So like David, if I go get a small group together and we create like a calendar, like basically a calendar agent to schedule meetings,
Yeah.
is that the kind of thing that could be done here?
100%, and please do, because I would love to use that.
Because
That's a
we're building like a new internet where everybody gets to build their own tools and they own their own tools.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally, right?
yeah.
So,
What I might, do you want me to bring it up and just sort of go through
yeah,
some of the
yeah,
things?
I love it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
it's a little bit divvy at the moment, but where are we? How can I share screen? Okay, that working?
We can see your machine.
Oh, excuse me. So go ahead and install it. Feel free to chat and ask questions while it's installing.
So you're literally live demoing from the install point here, which is probably not what most tech demos do, but it's actually the thing where it's like, look at this.
Yeah, it's working.
I'm like, oh God, like, may the demo gods be with us.
It's always doing a live demo is always nerve-wracking, especially when you're still in development. But I mean, I've pulled this up enough times now. I'm fairly confident that we're not going to run into any
So what we're
issues.
doing right now, like David, like what are we watching happen?
So right now there's a bunch of components because ThinkOS is quite a few different systems in the background working together. So it is going through and extracting those systems, setting them up, configuring them, and making them all kind of work in the background in your computer, and making it so that you don't have to go through and do all that configuration yourself. And so the core components to this is the builder. That's the no-code interface for building out tools. There's the back end for the agents, so that's the orchestrators we're talking about before, and the agentic framework itself. And then there's the extension as well, browser extension, that allows you to interact with the browser and interact with the system through the chat interface. There's a whole bunch of other work that needs to go into this that has been sort of developed separately that we're going to be merging in soon. But there you go, that's installed. It wasn't too painful. It gives you a little tray icon here. There's automatic updates, restart, that sort of thing, and just open up the app. So this is the main app. As I said, it's a little bit developy at the moment, but that's kind of where we want to be. I want to get some feedback from the users. This is the extension, the chat interface. Here you can add LLM providers, so you can host models locally if you've got the horsepower to do it, or you can use an LLM service like OpenRouter or Venice. They're pretty easy to configure. You can, like OpenRouter has hundreds of models that you can choose from. You just put the name in here, press enter, and it will become available to any of your agents.
And
you've got your tools.
Private verifiable system on OpenRouter to use like Nous and some of the other decentralized. Yeah. So OpenRouter is becoming, one of the leaders in decentralized AI.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's very cool, yeah. And it's good service. You can pay with crypto as well, which is nice. The tools here are any tools that are available, so you can use LangChain tools. You can add them to the system, or chat flows and agent flows. So this is the builder, and here you can come and create any of those things that you were talking about. I've created just a simple web search tool that uses BraveSearch as its inference. Uses OpenRouter Gemini as its inference. BraveSearch is the tool that it uses for it, and that becomes available here as a tool. Those tools can be used by agents. So there's sort of three levels. You've got the supervisor, which is your orchestrator that we're talking about before. You can set up a bunch of different supervisors, let them know what they have access to, and then you can chat to them. Then you've got the agents themselves. So these are the ones that carry out the tasks that are assigned to them by the orchestrator, or their crew. So they work together, or their swarm. And in here you can configure what model they use, what its job is, how it acts, whether it uses reasoning or not, what tools it has access to complete its tasks. So you set up those agents, or copy them off someone else, and then you put them all in a swarm. And that swarms are things that allow agents to coordinate with each other to complete tasks. So I've got this agent here that browses web pages through your browser, and it uses a planner, a navigator, and a validator agent to do that. And I've kind of bundled them all together in a swarm that enables those agents to coordinate together to achieve a common goal.
And so, David, like people would probably used to in the olden days using an MP3. So it's like, I've got a file, I can send it to you. You can play it on your Winamp. I can play it on mine. So your agents are portable like an MP3 file. So I can share it with Jesse. Is that right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then when you're turning those swarms, it's almost like putting together a playlist to say like, hey, these ones actually work well together, and then giving them actually the instructions to do so.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great analogy. I like it. The supervisors, then you can come in and choose what it has access to. So I've got a swarm here. I've said that it's allowed to use the browser crew, and it will use that to carry out tasks that this crew can do. So if it needs to browse the internet, it will invoke that. So let's go and give it a test. So these are pretty basic agents. As I said, I'm really excited to see what people can do with this in 6 months.
Yeah, because I think we just had like 15 people building in the fourth level of Agent 101.
Yeah, and all those can come straight into the browser.
Yeah, and that's just the first cohort. Wait until people see what they can do.
Yeah. And when they can monetize, because all of a
Yeah.
sudden you could have like a store where people can put up their agents.
Yeah. That'd be a good business for somebody to start.
And being a live demo, I expect it to not work for some reason.
What did you ask it to do?
I'll just ask it to buy a laptop. Oh, there we go. Okay, I want to get a laptop from PV Tech, which is a New Zealand tech, supplier.
Yeah.
So, but you can do research and you can chain up events for it to do. It'll go through step by step and complete them for you. But again, I want to see what more interesting outcomes people come up with. So your example from before, a calendar agent, have it look at your schedule and do. So you might want to ask it to have a look at my daily schedule and do research on any companies that I'm going to meet with today, and produce a research report. That would be quite a cool task that you could do if you had a calendar agent. So things like that, I'm really excited to see.
Fantastic.
This is exciting, and David, I'm glad that you and Lenny are going to be much more part of showing things on a regular basis. So I'm excited to see these, as the weeks come. So this is so awesome. Is there any last thing you want to say to the podcast?
No, I'm just like super excited to get this in the hands of users. And I've got a whole bunch of additional features in the backlog that I'm really keen to discuss and talk to people about. There's really exciting things around making it more efficient and adding additional features around how it understands context and keeps and updates context and distributes context to agents. So there's some really cool technology that that I've been working on that's going to go into it soon. And just keen to jump on and have a jam about it anytime you guys are doing this.
We should do that next week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sounds
Let's do it next week.
Awesome. Thanks for jumping in, David. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Johnny,
David.
thank you for being here this week, man. We appreciate you. We're excited for what you guys are doing.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, it's happening. We're doing it. So stoked to be doing it with you guys.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great
Let's
week.
go.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, Johnny.